Hi, welcome to videomathlessons.com. This is Algebra 2 and Trigonometry quick lesson. This is lesson number 19, Trigonometry Functions. Alright, well let's just start right out. We have something here that says CSC, which stands for cosecant. Now you need to know all your functions. So they say they want to know what ratio based on this triangle is equal to cosecant, and they say you're standing at A. All right. Well, you got to know all your functions. We have sine, I'll call it sine A, cosine, tangent, and what you need to know about tangent is also called sine over cosine. Now we have reciprocals. Reciprocal of sine is cosecant. Cosecant equals 1 over sine. Secant is reciprocal of cosine. And then we have cotangent is 1 over tangent. But a lot of times what we use is reciprocal of this part, which cotangent would also be called cosine over sine. These are all your functions you have to know, all right? And a lot of times when you first learn them, they use the word SOHCAHTOA. And we still use it. It's pretty straightforward. And these are the new ones that you learned this year. Cosecant, secant, cotangent. So let's go here now. So they say find the cosecant. What they're really saying is find sine and flip it over. So if I look at this problem, the sine of A, now if I'm standing here, this side over here is the opposite side. This is always hypotenuse across from the 90, and this guy right next to me is the adjacent side. So if I say find the sine of A is the opposite over hypotenuse, 7 over 25. But they're not asking for sine. They want cosecant. So I'm just going to flip it over. So it's 25 over 7. It's the reciprocal. They're called reciprocal trig functions. Find 25 over 7. Choice 2. All right, so they give us a diagram. They label it KW is 6. And I know that's my hypotenuse right off the bat. It's a hypotenuse. It's always hypotenuse across from 90. KT is 5. Find measure of angle KTW. Oh, no, I'm sorry. KTW is 90. Oh, that's that. Down here is what they're looking for, angle K. All right, now if I'm standing here, this over here is the opposite hypotenuse. This is the adjacent. I have A and H. So if you remember our word, cosine is A over H. The cosine of X, which in this case would be K, equals 5 over 6. And they want this to the nearest minute. So now to do this, I'm going to use the inverse trig function, second cosine, 5 over 6. So I'm going to go over here. My calculator is already in degree mode, so make sure you calculate in degree mode. Second cosine, 5 divided by 6. And we hit enter, and it's 33.5573. So 33.557309776 degrees. Well, notice they all have 33, so we're on the right track. Now, how do we find nearest minute? Over the word apps says angle. So I'm going to press second angle, second apps. Notice choice 4, DMS, degrees, minutes, seconds. I'm just going to press 4, or you can scroll down. Now this says take your answer, turn it into degrees, minutes, seconds, and it's flashing like it didn't do it yet. So you're going to say yes, enter, and there's our, so it's 33 degrees, 33 minutes, 26.315. These double tick marks mean seconds. Now, it's just like a clock based on 60. So there's 60 minutes in a degree, 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, So now when I round, I got a base on 30. This is under 30, so my answer is just going to be 3333. If this was 30 or 31 or a little bit over 30, 40, 50, this would have rounded up to the next minute. Okay, this is called a unit circle. They call it a unit circle in the picture. Unit circles have radius equal to 1, and they're centered at the origin. And they just want to find the sign. Now, when you do a unit circle, if I pick this point P, see that point P right there? I'm going to go right there. And normally we call it X and Y, right? X, Y, always over and then up. On a unit circle in trigonometry, it's not X and Y. The X value is called cosine theta, and the Y value is called sine theta. X values are cosines, Y values are sines. Alphabetical, X then Y, C then S. So now, when they say which line segment is sine, they want to know really who's the Y value. And if you go to your triangle, this part right here is the Y value. So who is the sign? Well, the sign is PR, choice 4. Let's try something similar. Once again, unit circle, radius is 1. Now they didn't, they say OB, just make it harder. Radius OB is 1. All right, whatever. It's a radius of 1. They want to know who the cosine is for this point right here. See this point? And the reason why I picked that point is because it's on the unit circle. Now, cosine, you need to remember cosine is the X direction. They're looking, now don't go all the way. Just what would be the X part? It would be OA. If they say who's the sign, that would be BA would be the sign. BA is sign. But they want the cosine. One more. Unit circle, radius 1. Who is tangent? Well, we haven't seen that yet. So I'm going to tell you right here. Now, we talked about before, tangent, sine over cosine. It's also this part of the circle. This part of the triangle that's through the unit circle. That part right there. So when they say, who's the tangent? It would be CB, or in this case, BC. Who is cosine? OA. That's cosine. You should be able to identify the parts now. Who is sine? That would be AD. Who is OB? Well, that's just a radius. And they were looking for tangent, which is choice 2. That's it. Hope it helped. Remember to hit the website up for other videos on specific topics. Have a nice night, and thanks for joining me. Bye.